Howdy folks, this is a midweek shave for me. It's about 4:40 in the a.m. for me on a Wednesday morning, and this is a soap sample I've had for quite a while, and it is Margaritas in the Arctic Stirling soaps, and I am using my Omega S brush. The bristles appear to simulate something that looks like maybe a boar hair brush, and already got it started on the lather, and I have it placed in my mug here, and this one here is the one from France, and ting ting ting. I haven't been able to place whether it's menthol and eucalyptus, maybe both. Smells pretty good. I also have my alum block complete with rubber band. I'll be using Cremo beard balm off camera, and that's what it looks like, and believe it or not, it has a spearmint scent to it. And the aftershave of the day is going to be Brut, and yes, I do have my witch hazel, and I'm going to be using this one here today. And the shaver of the day, have it warming up here in warm water, is my I'm going to be using my Parker SRB shavette. It has a DE blade in it that's been snapped in half, Personna, and I'm going to go ahead and get lathered up here. The scent's pretty, when I put the hot towel to the face, then I took the bloom water to the face, yeah, it got to my eyes. It was pretty interesting there for a moment, because I mean it was pretty strong. My routine usually is a hot towel and the bloom water. And if anybody wonders, no, I don't put a cap on top of my mugs or anything like that. They stay open. This is pretty creamy lather. Pretty creamy. That sample, I think, is supposed to be just over an ounce. If you haven't, this is my one and only soap that I have from Stirling. I don't have anything else from Stirling, and this will be my first time using it, so we'll see how this works. If you've been a person keeping up with the goings of the and what some individuals may get upset. The reason why I'm laughing, because this is just wet shaving. It's a hobby. I do whatever works for me, what I like. As you can tell, in other words, my scents don't match as it goes for the aftershave and the soap. I pretty much, it's what I may want to shave with one scent, but the rest of the day I may want to use a different scent. Not that an aftershave lasts all day, but that's just my thoughts on it. I have different thoughts on how things work. For instance, I don't keep up with what scents are seasonal. To be honest with you, I really don't. I imagine for some people that are deeper into the scents, what scents are typically used for whatever season. I use whatever I want to use when the mood strikes me. I am the one that's shaving and using it, so kind of go along the lines, that's my rules. Use what I want. I bought it. And blooming the soap. Do whatever floats your boat. If you don't like blooming it, don't like blooming it. Don't bloom it. I do mine. Here of late I've been scooping out the soap out of the tub anyway and putting it in a bowl, practicing bowl lathering as opposed to face lathering, which that's how I started, was face lathering. It just seemed more natural for me to start face lathering. That's just the way I started. That's what works for me. To me, it's especially since I didn't even start till basic. I ordered my first DE at the end of March of 2015. So basically April is when I started in 2015. And I've tried different things over time, and have a tendency that I found something that works for me, in other words a particular routine, then that's what I stick with. Considering I'm in my 50s and I'm just now figuring this out, so you're younger than I am and you're watching this and you're figuring it out, it's a good thing, because I struggled when I was in the Army, years of some sorry shaves. That's the reason why I kind of have a tendency, if I find the routine that's working, I'm not deviating from it just yet until I'm good and comfortable. So whether I continue on with the hot towel or not, has given me some thoughts on it from time to time, but nah, not yet. About the only time I've thought about not using the hot towel is during the summer months, but still, even at that, I think about it a moment and nah. I'm going to do what works for me, and I expect everybody else to be doing the same thing, because we're all individuals. You can do things in a different way. We have different tastes, different likes. I'm not so sure why you want to give a guy a hard time for blooming his soap, or not blooming his soap, whatever the case might be. However he shaves, if it works for him, it works for him. It's not you. There's not set rules on this. You can try to set the rules, but then you got people like me that no, I do whatever works for me. Alright, that was pass number 1. I'm going to re-wet the face before I lather again. This is good soap. I think I'm going to have to get some more of it in the future. That was a good sample. That sample is it's not real soft. It's not a coat by any means, but it's very flexible, pliable. It was easy to push down into the mug. I think that's eucalyptus I'm smelling. Yeah, I think that is. It smells great. I love it this morning. I've had this sample for quite a while. I mean quite a while. And I can tell you the reason why it took so long to try it. I was afraid to try it, because I was afraid I was going to like it and then want more. I was pretty sure after you watch so many videos You know, some people will talk about soaps and talk about how many. Like if you watch some of them, you know, they got hordes of a particular kind. I say hordes, in other words, you know, more than 5. Got stacks of them, and they found what works for them and what they like, which is, you know, for me that's great. I'm glad they did. But I figured that Stirling would be one of those soaps that I would end up liking, and then there I am, wanting more of them. He's got a lot of scents, different ones. The one that kind of intrigued me, one of the many, is Black Cherry, I think it was. Pass number 2 against green. This Parker Shavette SRB, SR for straight razor, black, B for black for the scales or the handle, was one of 2. That I ordered when I first started shaving with the Shavette. The other one being a Classic Samurai. This one here is a little bit heavier than Classic Samurai. It's a little bit bigger. So for me, starting out with my kind of whiskers, I felt that this was a better one to start with. But I like my Classic Samurai. It's easy to maneuver. I like the construction of it. Not that I don't like the construction of this one. I like how this loads. I've had no problem with the blade staying where it should be. Doesn't move, doesn't slide. It's locked in pretty good. Haven't had a lick of trouble out of it. With this being Wednesday, yesterday being Tuesday, Italian Barber released the single edge razor. The 2 that he had released that I don't think lasted very long. Didn't quite get enough of them. I think 10 days is the waiting period, something like that. Should be getting some more in. Not that I didn't want to get one, being a single edge. Looked like a pretty unique razor. Take feather blades or kai blades, or however you pronounce that. Depending on which one you get, chrome one is $20, and I think the black one was $25. Still a very good price. I had no intention of trying to sit there like you're on eBay bidding in the final seconds of the auction. No, I knew how my luck runs. Nah, I'm not gonna be able to get one. I'll wait till I guess you might say the excitement dies down a little bit. For me, that'll be quite some time in the future, because even after I get it, I'll still be excited about it. That's how I am about stuff like that. Once I decide I want something, I stay excited about it for quite a while. I think I've been spoiled by using my feather camisori style shavette. I like the straight handle, staying put, shorter. It's easier for me to maneuver, work with. That's just my preference. I can work with one of these, as you can tell. I just always felt that the camisori style would be the style that I really prefer. Just when I first started, I wasn't too sure I was going to stick with it. Wasn't too sure how it was going to work out for me. I really wanted it to work out for me, so I started on the cheaper end. Inexpensive, I should say. Cheap not being a bad thing. Since I rotate my shavettes in and out, like I do my brushes and my soap, and I do take care of my hardware, I expect that this shavette to last me a good long while. Alright, that was the end of pass number 2. I want to see if that's where I want to stop at. So I think, yeah, I got most everything on my cheeks, yeah. Sometimes I may do a quote-unquote a half pass, and that's on my cheeks, and I might go across the grain on parts of it in order to catch most of that hair that grows in different directions. Not too worried about my neck. It does grow in odd directions on my neck too. I just don't, not that interested in trying to get a, you know, with the grain across, and against the grain is good enough for me on my neck with the shavette. Now if I'm shaving with a DE razor or a straight razor, single edge, yeah, I might go ahead and go for that third pass. Alum block. See how this works. Get a report. As it is with wet shaving, whether you're shaving with a DE or straight razor, shavette, single edge, pressure is the key, and I'm still getting used to talking and shaving at the same time. Put a little bit too much pressure right there, so it did sting just a wee bit right there. Gotta tell. That is an area that's been prone to get irritated if I'm not real careful. Outside of that, had an awesome shave this morning. Soap's great. It's nice and creamy, and I like this scent. It's this is witch hazel, by the way. I do like menthol, eucalyptus. I do like those scents. Sorry, here you go. For me, I've always liked it. And with my nose, seemed like forever and a day, always giving me fits. Yeah, it's good to have something open up the sinuses. I have heard about, I think it's chisel face, cryogen. Yeah, I'd like to try that. Alright. Aftershave. Going to use Brut today. Brut's been, one of my younger days, this was one of the staples that I'd use. And if you didn't know, if you don't have Brut, that is how big the restrictor opening is. Some people like the small ones. I prefer the larger ones. I think I'll put some on my hair too. What little hair I have. We had a little bit of rain roll through early this morning. Thunderstorms. They were talking about the temperature differences spread over the area. Area being from Colorado in the in the 30s and Dallas in the 90s. So today I used Stirling Margaritas in the Arctic. Sample about 1.1 ounce, I think it is. The brush I used was Omega S. This was pretty nice lather. This is what I pressed it down into. Yeah, it's a great scent. You can still smell it. My shaver of the day was the Parker SRB shavette with a DE blade Personna snapped in half. This is the other half. I used the other one yesterday. And you just saw me use the Brut, that is, Brut, and my alum block of the day, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. He puts a rubber band with his, which that's the reason why I got this one, is because of the rubber band. Everybody, please stay safe and smooth shaves, and catch you later.